All right, here it is, the underdog match of the century. Um, I say that at this point, our last 8 games, I think we won 7, tied once. Actually we should be overdogs in basically anything fairly matched. But because this is like a RPG style game where people level up stuff, and relies on a matchmaking system that doesn't make any sense. Uh, we and part of that is because they match based off tech, but also because there just aren't enough players, I guess. So, however it ends up happening, like for example, this ship. Oh my God, 9 duels, 8 omega, and then all 8 and 1 9. Like our highest over are like 5 and 6, so they have almost double our technology. If we're gonna use that guy, obviously that's their strongest guy, but this is one of our strongest guys. 5 4 1. Jeremy's pretty decently leveled. 6 6 5. Like, these are our strongest guys. We have some level 2 guys. His battery and shield are pretty good, but like he's got one support mod. It's level 3, and if we're from matching off tech, like how does this happen? They've got one too. I guess that guy's actually is pretty lightly equipped, but if there are, and this isn't all of their guys either. I'm pretty sure they have at least 3 of these high level ships. Or, I'm sorry, I think they have at least 4 of these, and we'll see maybe as we roll out. Yeah, there he came in right at the end. So, if that didn't really, if I haven't driven it home yet, this guy here, Matthew, he is the admin for the official Discord for the game. A game actually sent out official notifications that like, hey, everybody join the official Discord. This guy is the main operator, and he is the 4th strongest guy on the team. Of a team of 10 people, he's barely in the best half of the team. But I digress. So we knew it was going to be a hard match. We were determined to win anyway because we're that good, right? We're going to win. So they come out. Obviously, their supports are also balling out of control. 7s, 8s. So they get a lot of gas really fast. We like our gas strategy. We get a decent amount built up, but you'll see over here. Oh my God, he is already like halfway across the map, and we are less than 12 hours into the match. And he's gonna just come right up top. I actually think we're in decent position. These 2 guys end up switching spots, which wasn't great. But these are low-level guys. We shouldn't be relying on them too hard anyway. But we have like a decent like perimeter, because we knew that he was going to come in quick with the time warp and impulse and level 9 delta. We knew he was going to be fast. And we knew we needed a perimeter like this to sort of try to box him out. But right here, that's just too much of a gap, and he sees it. We have 2 people in the same spot right here, when we could have fanned out a little better in that one spot. Also, when dealing with assassins, like we can't get caught like that, where we're moving before he move. Like, we have to move in response to him. That's the only way you can catch an assassin, especially one this fast. So he's going to come in and he's going to blow right through this gap. And just like that, he is through our defenses, and we are 14 hours in. This is our only person who's harvested any gas of note, but he's going to make it there. And I think we actually might have been able to save this. But, you know, he's like, it's easy to say that in hindsight. If every single person was online every second of the day, maybe we could have caught him doing this, but obviously that's not reality. But if this miner could have moved away, and Rhino and I get close enough that he targets us first, we could have barriered him, and wait, what? Oh no. What happened here? So John, I didn't even notice this. John was definitely in range to hit him with EMP right there, and that would have killed him. Yeah, that sucks. All right, so we do end up killing him here, though. And that's when he's not even running Sanctuary, I think. Pretty sure he didn't have Sanctuary on at that point. So that's good. We made him lose a very expensive ship. I also think he was on the leaderboard for the damage leaderboard at that point. So he'll get us back on that, though. Don't worry. That's for later, though. So right now we've taken out that most deadly assassin. This assassin down here is already having to use his stealth to escape. Ugly did a good job of shutting him down. I think I actually wasn't paying attention to what happened there, but I think that's what happened. Probably he should have chased. There's a few times where we let people slip through or slip away when they should have been dead. And this is one of those times. So he's hurt bad, and he doesn't have his delta anymore, and his time warp is affecting Ugly as well. So if he just follows that trail, he could have just killed him easily. But instead, he has to burn a teleport and go to where he's going. And up here, these are two of their very big, strong ships, and we're coming in with 3. So we got a 3v2, but this is like one of our very low-level ships running 3 bat. But he gets the EMP, though. That's a huge way to start that fight. And we have our rockets coming in. And somewhere, I'm not sure where that occurred, but maybe it was right here. I don't know. This guy used Destiny and ended up in the worst possible spot. You know what? Let's actually back up. Let's see where he came from. Because that's actually like a huge loss for them. Like, Destiny is sort of a roulette. Sometimes you get a great spot, and that wins you the game, and sometimes it just screws you. And so here we'll go forward. So what was that guy's name? Jay something? There he is. Oh, right. So he's using Time Warp to speed up this assassin. This assassin, I'm not very impressed with his loadout, actually. He's got good delta, but stealth isn't that great, and his mass bat is only 1. So really all he can do is kill transports. And his only means of getting to transports is stealth, which is a little slow. And time warp, you're going to time warp the things that are around you too. So he's boosting him in, though. Let's see what he actually uses Destiny on. Okay, so he uses it to stop this assassin right here. So Jeremy, we had a assassin of our own down here, which I hadn't picked up on because of the all the commotion going on with their assassin. So he actually did need to make a move down here because Jeremy was in position to destroy some really expensive stuff. So he uses Destiny to make sure he gets that kill, and ends up in the maybe the worst place he could have ended up. Except if he could have ended up there, that would have been the only worst place, because that's where the Rockets are presently headed. But this also is not good. So these guys also have Destiny, so I believe they use Destiny to escape, which is a good use for it. It's sort of like the wild man's sanctuary. If you're feeling lucky, it can save you, or it can put you in an even worse spot. So they make their escape. I believe they destroy some of our stuff there in the process, though. But at this point, we're not in bad shape at all. So this guy's going to go down. Their Destiny knocked them all the way back to the beginning. And if you just scroll back and look at the board, this guy is very much not a threat. He's slow, and he's got Mass Bat and EMP1. It's like, basically anyone could 1 versus 1 this guy and be fine. We could have easily pushed him away from the planets with 1 person, or just killed him outright if he did try to attack. And that's just with 1 battleship. I think we could have done that. But this was kind of like decision time, because we actually have a pretty good advantage right here. All their guys are right around their warp gate, or dead, and they're going to continue to die. So we keep going here a little bit. So this guy's going to die with the bad Destiny. The assassin, he's going to go down. I think we could have taken him out a little more efficiently, both of these two. Because all we really needed to do there was just stick with their path and just kill him. Although, no, his Delta's still a day away. So yeah, somebody else could have probably taken care of this. I don't think we really needed to use an EMP on this guy. But regardless, we had a really solid advantage here. And these guys with Mass Bat really drove up my damage. During the process of this game, I made it to 92nd place on the damage leaderboard at my highest point, which I was pretty happy about. So we had that advantage, and the decision that we made was we were just going to try to split, because people were afraid that Matthew was going to come back into the game, which obviously he is, and now he's back in. And the fear was, if we try to just go one direction, he's just going to hit us again and assassinate all our stuff again. My idea, which I still, in hindsight, I think it was the better idea. It didn't get a lot of positive feedback from the corp, so I sort of eased up on that idea, but I still think it was better. Maybe. It's easy to say in hindsight because we don't know what would have happened, but so my idea was they have 12 relics loaded up here because of that huge gas production they're able to pull out. Meanwhile, our only gas was destroyed by that assassin. So, in part of this split effort, we had to use 2 guys to mine, plus we have 3 relic harvesters, plus another 2 going south because we're trying to split. Because if Matt kills anybody, or if Matt goes one direction, we're relying on the other direction to score. But the problem with that is we have 5, 6, 7 of our 10 supports out on the field and not shooting rockets. And we'll see later that problem gets compounded when we have a little bit of an error with firing rockets. So Matt comes in again. I try to move away, but he's just coming so fast again. And the split, the idea to split here is making us thin. So John, all he's got left is EMP, and he has to actually get in range in order to actually utilize that. And then I'm not really sure what was going on with this teleport, but it's just a bad situation here because there's really not a lot we can do. We have Destiny and another EMP. We have zero tools to catch assassins. See, these guys are so fast. There's no way you're ever gonna actually get in range to EMP. And also, we don't have the buffer wall. Like, we need to be like, if we're gonna try to box them out with EMP, we need like a wall of guys away from the objective. But we didn't have time to set that up, so we just have a couple people on the objective with EMP, and all they have to do here, and it's exactly what they do, is teleport right over our head. And he's got time warp, so this teleport that's supposed to take 2 hours, that's supposed to take 4 hours, actually takes significantly less time than 4 hours. It's closer to 2 hours. And yeah, he just, when I was running away, I was like, oh, here comes Matt. And then I logged in like an hour later and was like, oh, I'm dead. So that wasn't good. Really, this whole operation on the left side could not have gone worse. We lost every single support and all the gas that we had harvested. And these were expensive ships too. Like, it really cost us in the long term, like outside of White Star game, to lose that much in terms of ship cost. Now down low, we have kind of a weird fight breakout. We had an advantage here because they only had they had really only this one guy here at the planet, and then some other guys further away. So they're reinforcing, but also we are as well. We have these three guys up here with Delta Shield that are moving pretty quick. But this guy has to peel up to try to stop this assassin because he's just running amok in our backfield. And on this life, he actually never dies. He continues to just roam freely in our territory. So any hope of doing anything else at this point isn't happening. Like, if we could try to like get a trans out with time warp and try to like very quickly make it to like an open planet that isn't that doesn't have an enemy near it, because that's what we could have done, right? Like, we could have still sent transports up to these planets because the level 10 obviously is going to have some relics on it without any gas help, and then even these level 5s eventually would. And if we only had one battleship over here to deal with that one little weak guy, we could have snuck maybe one trans to pick up maybe 2-3 relics, depending on who goes, with only one battleship as an escort. And if they did send somebody more like if Matt still goes after that guy, well, then that frees up everything down low. But I don't think Matt would have gone that way. He would have tried to get into this cluster. But if we had two of these guys are up here, who are up here, plus all 4 of these guys, plus the 3 of us, all bearing down on this planet, that is a lot of that's a lot of pressure. Even low-level guys, if you can EMP, if you can sort of start to create like a little bit of a buffer, and be threatening, at worst they're gonna not be able to score, and we might even be able to score ourselves, and we'll have a hell of a lot more guys available to fire rockets at that planet. But one thing is for sure, we cannot let them score. At this point, I think they've scored 1, or they're about to score 1. And I didn't like engaging in this fight. We went into them instead of vice versa. I always like to react to attackers rather than attack, and we sort of initiated the attack here. They have all of this time warp and all of these. They have the much better rocket situation because they're very high level rockets, and they're moving through time warp from a shorter distance. And their ships are much stronger. If we could have set up sort of a perimeter and forced them out into us, we could have had the advantage of reaction, still have the EMPs available, and still have the barrier available, I in this split scenario, I could have gone back north to try to catch Matt, but I was in a position where I was about here. I was at like this asteroid or something, and I knew that there was no way if I didn't join into this fight, there was no way we were gonna come out of it with any sort of advantage, or even like decent damage wouldn't have even been done by us. So I come in with barrier and I block out some of their rockets. We have lost 1 ship, and then we got another one sort of EMP'd out here. So I'm just gonna Destiny at this point, because there's really nothing else I can do here. Nothing I can do will save this ship. So I come up and I Destiny, and honestly, I'm just hoping to get out of here at this point, because they have some very well equipped ships, and I don't even see what I could possibly do to sort of to do anything really of importance. So what happens is I get put right here with my Destiny, which I felt was a terrible, really, really dangerous place for me to be, because they have so much powerful ships. And in a regular fight, I probably would have beat dead already. They probably would have pounced right on me and killed me. And that's what I thought they were going to do when I saw this Destiny. But I think why they didn't kill me is they have all these supports over here, and they're way more concerned with keeping them alive than they are with dealing with me. And they see these other assassins and others reinforcements coming from the north, and they don't want that getting to their supports. So I actually will get out of my my self-inflicted EMP or whatever that Destiny does to you. And at that point, I'm able to make a decision. I really thought, like, I'm on the leaderboard for damage. I really don't think that there's any chance we win this game, because we're not going to score. There's just no way we're going to score. Like, this trans is going back to warp, basically, and he's going to die almost certainly with this assassin still roaming around. So there's no way we're going to score from the 12s. There's a very low chance we're going to even get over here. It looks as though they've won this fight here to me. So I didn't really think there was any point in me to continue to try to fight here, but I played with the time machine a little bit, and I saw that our assassins were coming in and being a threat. So I decided to go and try to actually get back into this fight, because why the hell not, right? If you're playing White Star to survive, you're not doing it right. So I post up outside the barrier, because I don't want to get stuck in that. And it's going to be up for another... Oh, he's not doing it? This guy's doing it. It's going to be up for another 7 hours. So we have one assassin over here who's ready to move in at the transports. He actually would have been better off staying where he is and keeping them from leaving. But we've never seen time warp this fast. It is foreign to an assassin to even consider the idea that the thing you're hunting is actually faster than you are. Like that's a worst nightmare come true for an assassin. The whole way in which your ship works is by being able to catch things, and the thing you're trying to catch is faster than you are. So we actually have them surrounded, right? I mean, they're stronger than us, but they're going to have a tough time getting their transports out. So instead of going north, I try to wrangle I go into assassin mode myself. I try to deal with the assassins and stay out of this barrier, but they're just too damn fast. My freaking Delta shield can't catch a regular ass trans because of their level 9 time warp. Just ridiculous. So our assassin up here whiffs. I can't catch them, and they're just gonna roll right in and score all the points they need. They have 3 there, and they'd scored earlier. This really infuriated me, because I do this all the time to assassins, but I have single bat. It's hard to get a rocket in on single bat, and also they don't even have the time warp's not even affecting the rockets anymore, so it's not that. And if it was just one rocket hits me, I understand that you can hit somebody with battery with a really well-timed rocket, but these rockets aren't even close to each other. They're 14 minutes apart. And the first one hits and the second one hits. But really, they really only needed one to hit, because one would have knocked my shield off. And at this point, there's only 24 hours left in the map, so there's no way I'm getting out to preserve my damage for the leaderboards for this event. And there's just nothing else we can do at this point. That Matt is still alive, still running free. So I just disband my ship because I'm not going to give them any damage. And I also was about to cap on credits, and I wanted to make sure to remove that cap, especially with the new income that comes in from the White Star. But all in all, they scored 3 plus 1 earlier is 4. And we didn't score, which doesn't feel great. But to hold them at 4 when they could have scored 12 or 13, they could have scored 13 relics on us. And we held them to 4 with some pretty makeshift ships. We have Rhino and his little Stumpy level 2, and our little, I say little in comparison to the enemy team, assassins, without the luxury of being able to have everybody in Time Warp 9. Because we were talking about it in the Discord, like this Time Warp is crushing, but we don't have the luxury of putting it on, because these guys have 4 slots, and I guess like when we only have 3, what am I going to drop? I teleport is absolutely necessary for dealing with assassins, and I've built myself to deal with assassins. Barrier, again, it cannot be dropped if you're trying to stop assassins. I already feel like I'm missing out on EMP. And then Destiny is like my get out of jail free card. That's like, I'm not running Sanctuary, so I run Destiny. I did 15,000 damage with Destiny in one push of a button. So, I mean, I could, in theory, I could drop Destiny and put on Time Warp, but I don't know. I don't think that's a good choice. Given that my Time Warp's only level 6 or something, level 5, level 6. But we knew we were the underdogs in this fight. I do think we could have won it if we played perfect. If everyone lived their entire week at home, took the week off, no one went to work or school, I think that it's possible we could have won. But I think we played about as well as we could have. I didn't get to see their Discord, but I think probably when we wiped them out and had a big advantage early in the game, I think they definitely seemed to play harder in the second half of the game than they did in the first, and I think that they were a little stunned at how well we were playing. But ultimately, the tech advantage that they had was just insurmountable. And I really think that's really all there is to it. So hopefully we don't get a match this out of whack, and we can go back to our winning ways. And that's all I got. Have a good one.